Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber. It's so good to have you here. Today, I'm going to share with you what I'm actually packing in my hospital bag. I'm almost 38 weeks pregnant, so I figured I should probably get around to doing this. Baby boy could be here any day now. And this is my third baby. This is my third hospital birth. So I've done this a time or two. I'm also a registered nurse who has worked in the NICU for 8 years. So I worked very closely with postpartum, with labor and delivery, so I have a great idea of what you actually need to pack in your hospital bag and what you really just don't need to worry about. So I wanted to share that with you today, and let's jump into it. All right, so first I wanted to start with what I'm packing for the actual labor and delivery, which really isn't much. First, I wanted to pack a few snacks. I think that is absolutely necessary. Depending on where you're at in your labor journey, you may or may not get to actually have some snacks, but I wanted to have some on hand. And even for postpartum, they're great to have. So I'm gonna pack a little bag of just like grab and go little bars and bananas, apples, that kind of stuff for me and my husband to snack on easily. And that way, we're not just famished the entire time. So I wanted to have some easy options for us to grab if necessary. So I've really enjoyed with my past births to listen to music while laboring. So you could certainly use that on your phone, but I think a Bluetooth speaker is a must-have. Another item that I wanted to bring is a rechargeable battery. So this will come in handy if you're laboring for a long time, if you're on your phone a lot, whatever the case may be. This will come in handy for you. And then another item to have is just a long charging cord. A lot of the times the outlets are not super close, or you have this big hospital bed, so a long charger is a must-have. Along with tech items is if you are planning a induction or anything like that, having a laptop that you can kind of just browse or watch movies on, or an iPad, something like that is super helpful. If you're not having an induction and you just go in with like a natural labor, then you probably won't need this. You're going to be in the zone, and you definitely wouldn't need it postpartum because you're going to be so busy with baby. But if you're having an induction, I would recommend a computer or a tablet or iPad of some sort, just to kind of keep you occupied and busy. Maybe bring a book or something if you're more into that. Something to just kind of, occupy your time with. Next up is a portable fan. My previous hospital actually provided one, but I'm actually birthing at a different place this time, and I'm not sure if they will have one. Also, it's like 100 degrees here in Texas, so I figured I'm gonna want one in the back seat for baby boy when we do come home, so I need one anyways. So I'm just gonna bring it with me just in case. This one is great because you could wrap it around like the edge of the hospital bed if you needed to do that. The legs kind of bend and contort, or you could just stand it up on like a side table or something like that. Or you could even just hold it, or you could have your husband or spouse or whatever hold it for you. So a portable rechargeable fan is something I'm gonna bring this time. You could check with your hospital to see if they provide them. Like I said, my previous hospital, they did provide me one, and I didn't even need to worry about it. But I'm gonna bring it for baby boy this time anyways for the car, so I may as well just pack it in my bag and have it just in case. A few other items that I plan to bring with me are chapstick for laboring. You are breathing a lot and really just kind of, focusing on your breath, and the hospitals are so dry. I used it a lot with my previous births, and they have some at the hospital, but if you have one of your own that you absolutely love, I would recommend bringing it. Another thing that I'm going to bring are some hair ties. This is a partially used package. There's like 3 in here just to have on hand just in case. So with my previous births, I had unmedicated births. I had no epidural or anything like that. So I think having some tools in your back pocket to kind of get you through those contractions and the intensity that builds towards the end of labor is essential. And a few things that I'm bringing, and it's not really much. A lot of what I've done is actually just prepping my mind for it, having the tools of breath and how to, maneuver and different positions to get into to really help get through those intense contractions at the end. But a few things that I'm going to be bringing with me are some essential oils. One of them is lavender, just very calming and therapeutic. If you're in a really tense situation, it's a great one to have on hand. Along the same lines is Stress Away. This one's really, really great. It's very relaxing and calming. It almost has kind of like a vanilla scent to it, so if you like vanilla, this is a really great one to kind of just sniff as well. You could bring a diffuser if you want. I'm not. It's one less thing to have to bring with me, but I do like to have these. I'll put a few drops on like some tissue or something and just kind of like sniff, have like kind of laying around. You can use it that way as well. But I found with my previous births that these were super helpful and just kind of help to set the tone for the birthing room. And the last one that I have here is peppermint oil. I really only plan to use this one if I'm feeling a little bit nauseous. With my first birth, I got a big wave of nausea during labor. My second birth, I didn't actually, but I want to have it on hand just in case. Peppermint oil is great for that. You can just kind of sniff it straight from the bottle if you get a little wave of nausea, and it really helps to subside that. Peppermint oil, lavender oil, and Stress Away from Young Living are what I'm bringing with me. And last but not least are combs. I actually have never used this trick before, but I've seen it recently on a few other videos of labor videos, and I'm curious and interested to try it. So I bought a cheap pack that I plan to take with me, and the idea is that you put the comb portion into the palm of your hand during really intense contractions, and this is a 2-pack, so I can have one on each hand. And the idea is that during those really intense contractions, you squeeze the combs, and it really helps to divert the pain sense away from whatever is happening here, and the intensity kind of helps to just divert that pain a little bit to different receptor sites so that you can kind of handle those contractions a little bit better. So like I said, I've never actually tried this before, but I wanted to just buy a cheap pack of combs. Why not? To really help me get through those intense contractions towards the end. But that's really all I'm bringing for labor. And next I want to share with you what I'm going to be bringing for postpartum. Okay, so for postpartum, I'm really not bringing much either. In my previous birth, we really were only in the hospital for like 24, 36 hours, like not too bad. I know that things have kind of shifted in a lot of hospitals for vaginal births to be a shorter stay, so closer to that 24 to 36 hour mark. If you happen to have a C-section, you might be there a little bit longer, closer to like the 48-hour mark, just to monitor and everything like that. So I want to bring stuff just in case, because obviously you never know what can happen. You can have your plan as much as you want, and I think that that's wonderful to be prepared for that. But I think to have an open mind of you just really never know the direction that things are going to go. So being prepared in that way is essential. So first, for postpartum, I'm going to be bringing just some easy jammies, something super comfortable. I picked these up. They're just some short sleeve button up jammies, matching bottoms. I have this pair, and I also have a striped pair. They're the same thing, just button up, short, matching sets. And these are great. They're super soft, they're super comfortable, they're easy to nurse in. So having some good comfortable jammies or something like a nursing nightgown that you would be comfortable just kind of lounging around in, that you can easily nurse in, is wonderful. So like I said, I want to be prepared to be there for 2 days just in case. I'm bringing 2 pairs with me. Along that same line, I am bringing a robe. This is the same brand. They're all from Target. Just a basic black robe to toss on. Hospitals can be pretty chilly sometimes, so with having short sleeves and all of that, I just want to have a robe on hand. I may not need it at all. My previous births were more in the winter time, and like I said, here in Texas, it's 100 degrees outside, so I may not even want this, but I want to be prepared just in case. I can be nice and cozy. I also am bringing a 2-pack of nursing bras. These are just kind of like the sleep nursing bras. They're not padded or anything like that. You can kind of just easily pull them to the side to nurse if needed. Probably won't even be wearing these in the hospital. Honestly, I'll just be wearing the jammy top with probably nothing underneath. But these are great for going home, or if you feel more comfortable having something on. Something just super soft and lightweight, easy access are good to have, and these in particular are what I am bringing. I also am bringing a pair of slippers. These are just a cheap pair of slippers, nothing fancy. Like I said, during birth and labor, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of extra fluids happening. You bleed a lot after birth, so having some just cheap slippers that you can easily walk around in and be comfortable in, but also too that you could just toss at the end and not feel too bad about throwing them away if they get, you know, pretty nasty. And then along the same lines, I'm bringing just some shower shoes, just some basic sandals, again, that you are cheap, that you wouldn't mind just tossing at the end if they get super gross. Shower shoes to me are a must. I personally don't enjoy showering in like community type of showers, and I know that they clean in the hospital and everything, but I don't know. It just grosses me out personally. So shower shoes for me are a must. Another item that I plan to bring is some nipple butter. This is the Earth Mama Organics nipple butter. I've used it with my other two babies as well. It's made with all natural ingredients. But this is great. You actually don't even need to wipe it or wash it off before you breastfeed. But some nipple butter is essential for breastfeeding, especially if you're a first-time breastfeeder, but I'm gonna bring some this time just to have. They do have lanolin at the hospital, but if you have a specific one that you would like to use, you could always bring it. It's super small, you could tuck it away in your bag. And then I'm just gonna be bringing a small bag of toiletries. I'm keeping it very simple. I'm gonna be bringing some shampoo and conditioner in case if I feel like washing my hair. Depending on how things go and how long we're there, I may not even get to this point. If my hair doesn't really get that dirty during labor and all of that, then I probably would just skip this step, but I'm gonna bring it just in case if I feel like getting nice and fresh at the hospital. Some body wash, some lotion. Like I said before, the hospitals are super drying, so I just wanted to have some good body lotion on hand. I'm going to be bringing my face wash, keeping my skincare just super simple, nothing crazy while I'm there. You're going to be spending most of your time snuggling your baby anyways, but just something to kind of make yourself feel a little more human is always nice too. So some simple face wash and face moisturizer. And then one product that I've been loving lately, and I'm definitely bringing it with me, is this Tula Under Eye Rose Glow and Get It Eye Balm, and it is so good. It's got like this brightening effect, but it's also kind of cooling under the eyes, so it makes you feel like alive and awake and energized. And I think after giving birth and having a newborn and just, you know, nursing constantly and all of that, I'm going to be reaching for this, I have a feeling. And then obviously just a toothbrush and toothpaste. They have this at the hospital, so you certainly don't have to bring it. I'm just going to bring my own just because. It's super small and easy to pack, and I can already have it tucked away. And that's really it as far as toiletries go. I will be bringing my own hairbrush, and I am going to bring a hair straightener as well. If I wash my hair, I may end up wanting to do it. My hair doesn't naturally dry very pretty, so I might want to add like a few curls or just straighten it real quick if I do decide to wash my hair. And then along the same lines is if I feel like wearing makeup, which my others I really didn't, I might put on like a little mascara or something like that just to make me feel a little alive, awake, energized, feel a little more human. But I'm bringing like the very bare necessities, a little bit of bronzer, some blush, I'm bringing some mascara, really nothing crazy, just like I said, the bare minimum, just to, if I feel like getting myself together a little bit, then I can do that. And last but not least is just something comfortable to wear home. I'm gonna just be bringing this like t-shirt dress. Summertime, 100 degrees, something easy to just throw on. is definitely necessary. So I'm just going to be bringing a easy t-shirt dress to throw on, but whatever you would be most comfortable in is what you should wear. A few items that I'm not bringing for postpartum that the hospital will provide in my experience with my previous births, and I know that they will this time as well, is Dermaplast spray for after having your baby. It really kind of like helps to numb the area down there. Tux pads, they'll provide the actual pads that for, you know, heavy bleeding. They provide you with the postpartum like mesh underwear. I know that they have a lot of products on the market for like home. Frida Baby has a ton of really good stuff. But it's really not necessary to bring all of that to the hospital. They provide you with all of that stuff. So in my opinion, it's best to just keep all that stuff at home. It's just less for you to have to worry about and bring with you. All right, last but not least, I want to share with you what I'm bringing for a baby boy. So first, for baby, you really don't need to bring much for them either. The hospital provides a lot. They have a ton of blankets. They have like wash rags and burp cloths and stuff like that. They have little t-shirts, they have pacifiers, they have body wash for them, all of the good stuff that you would need, they pretty much have in supply. Diapers, wipes, all of that. So you really don't need to worry about much for baby. I am packing a few things just because I personally like to, but again, I'm keeping it very minimal and just bringing the bare necessities. So first, as far as clothing goes, I'm gonna just bring 2 little sleepers. These are wonderful with the little zippers. I highly recommend sleepers with no snaps. You are not gonna be wanting to worry about snaps in the middle of the night or after just giving birth. Zippers are the way to go. So I'm bringing 2 of these. They usually have like little t-shirts for the babies anyways, so you may not even need these, but I like to put my babies in them just to keep them a little bit more cozy. So I'm bringing 2 for him. I'm also bringing a pack of pacifiers. These are personally the ones that I've used with my babies that they, well, my first, she was a big pacifier lover. My second, I think mostly because of her tongue tie and lip tie situation, she really never took to a pacifier, but these are the ones that I plan to bring. They're the Avent little soother or soothy pacifiers. Like I said, the hospital usually has pacifiers or they will have them for you, but if you have a specific one that you plan to use, you could always bring that with you. I know a lot of the times they recommend not to actually give your baby a pacifier in the beginning, but I want to have one on hand just in case. Like I said, I've worked in the NICU, I've worked along postpartum and all of that good stuff. I breastfed both of my previous babies as well. And for me personally, I find that a pacifier is really not a big deal. That's a personal preference. I know everybody has their opinion on that, but for me, I'm going to bring it just in case. I do plan to nurse on demand and all of that, but in case of just, you know, unruly, unsoothed baby, pacifier is always good to have on hand in my personal opinion. A few other things that I'm going to bring for baby is 2 little onesies. Again, it's 100 degrees here in Texas, so I may just go with the onesies and not the sleepers. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see, you know, how big baby is. If he's on the smaller side, he's probably going to need a little bit more, you know, warmth and coziness. If he's a little chunkier and bigger, then he might be cool in just a onesie and a blanket. So we'll just kind of play it by ear, but I wanted to have both on hand just in case. And they're super small, easy to pack. So 2 sleepers, 2 onesies. I plan to bring a little swaddle and a matching hat for him to take his little introduction picture. If you have like a little birth announcement that you plan to use or take, I would bring that with you. But for us, we're just gonna do a swaddle and a hat for him. So I'm gonna be sure to bring that. And along with the blanket, I'm also gonna just bring one other. It's just a basic muslin swaddle. And these were always great with my other 2, just good to have on hand. They have a ton of blankets at the hospital, so you certainly don't even need this. I'm just gonna bring 2 and it'll just be good to have just in case if we need it. 2 other things that I plan to bring are some body wash for him and some body lotion. This is the Tubby Todd Hair and Body Wash and the Shea Moisture Baby, just sensitive, basic body lotion. They do provide body wash and sometimes lotion at the hospital. Sometimes they don't even, you know, have the lotion available, but they do have usually like the Johnson & Johnson baby wash or whatever. But I personally like to use more like fragrance-free options for my kiddos. So bring whatever, you don't have to bring anything at all, but if you choose to, bring whatever, soap and lotion suits you and your family. So for us, this is what we're gonna be bringing. And then for the ride home, all I plan to bring for him is one little outfit, his going home outfit. And then I'm also gonna bring 2 burp rags just to have in the car for the car seat, for little spit ups or whatever. They have a ton of burp rags and washcloths and stuff like that at the hospital, so you don't even need to worry about packing a ton for your stay. But I wanted to have a few with us just for the ride home mostly. And then another thing that I'm gonna be bringing are just a couple of diapers and a package of wipes. Again, they provide diapers and wipes for you in the hospital, so you don't need to even really probably bring this. I'm just bringing them mainly for the ride home for any disasters, but for the stay in the hospital, I just plan to use whatever they have on hand. And honestly, in my personal experience working in the hospital and providing for families in the NICU and all of that, you always get, well, I don't want to say always, but in the hospital that I worked in, we always sent home a goodie bag with our families that had like a pacifier, a bulb syringe, diapers, wipes, like kind of a little goodie bag, if you will. And then also a lot of what you don't use in your bassinet at the hospital will get sent home with you because they really can't use it for the next laboring mama or baby or anything like that. So whatever diapers and wipes are left over, especially if it's an open package, feel free to take home with you in my experience. So you probably don't even really need these, but I'm gonna bring them just in case, maybe we go through all the diapers in our bassinet and we don't have any at the end. I know there's a lot of shortage supplies on all kinds of stuff right now, so I'm not sure what that'll look like as far as a goodie bag going home, but in my past experience, that's always been the case. So I'm just gonna have these just in case we need them for the ride home. And last but not least for baby is I'm gonna be bringing a boppy, kind of for baby, kind of for me, for nursing. They are just wonderful to have. I know there's so many options these days. This one is just the traditional boppy. I know Snuggle Me makes a great option. It has a little bit thinner pieces towards the end, so when they wrap around you, they're not quite as bulky. I've actually never tried that one. I know there's another one called the Breast Friend that people really like as well. I've always just used a boppy with my others, and that's what I plan to use this time, so I'm gonna bring it with me. That way I don't have to prop up a bunch of pillows while nursing. I would highly recommend some sort of nursing pillow, whatever you may enjoy the most, but especially for like new breastfeeding mamas, it is imperative to have some sort of nursing pillow. I think it just makes your life so much easier, especially while learning how to breastfeed, because it's a learning curve for you and baby. And I just think it's super, super necessary. So I'm bringing my boppy. And one other thing that I would bring if you are a first-time mama, and I don't plan to bring because I've done this a time or two, is if you're planning to nurse your baby, I would bring your breast pump and like all of the flanges and stuff with you. You don't have to bring it inside the hospital right away, but maybe keep it in your car. I personally always like to work with my mamas in the NICU, and I know a lot of our lactation consultants that worked on postpartum would help the mamas as well with kind of fitting the flanges and stuff like that, because usually when you buy your breast pump, it has 2 different flange sizes with it, and it's super, super important if you are going to be pumping in any way that you have the right fit. 1 for comfort, but 2 for the best output and getting like that milk production started. So I would recommend, if you're a first-time mama and you have really no experience with breastfeeding or anything like that, to bring your pump and your supplies with you, and that way your nurse or your lactation consultant can kind of help fit you best with the right size to make sure that you have the best outcome when you do go home. All right, and that is all that I am bringing to the hospital with me. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it pretty light and minimal. I think I did that. The hospital provides a ton for you, so I wanted to really provide you with the essentials that I think are necessary. And obviously, if there's certain, products that you enjoy that you would rather just have of your own, certainly bring that. But I think just knowing what the hospital will provide for you is super important. That way you're not having to pack unnecessarily. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it will be useful for you when you go to pack your own hospital bag, and that way you are ready and set for your baby and labor and delivery and postpartum and all the good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please like it, please subscribe, please comment down below. If there's anything that I didn't add in here that you felt was super necessary, then please share that. That way other mamas can see it too, because like I said, this is a personal experience. I may feel something's not necessary, but somebody else found it super helpful for them. So please share that down in the comments below, because that way we can help each other out in this journey of motherhood. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.